Guys, it's 3 a.m. Thanks, Zorok. I appreciate it, buddy. Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this. Like, my parents are literally gonna come in and they're gonna be like, who are you talking to? I kid you not, it is dark outside. It's probably gonna be light outside in a little bit. Um, so this is, there's gotta be a pretty good reason for me doing this. There is. There's an absolutely amazing reason for me doing this. Let's pull up the Minecraft Volume Alpha, because this is totally sort of worth talking about. And also, I just need to spread the stream everywhere, because that's just kind of classic what I do. Good God. Here we go. Minecraft Volume Alpha. That is way too loud. Christ, we need background music, not deafening music. Is that too loud? I don't know, because no one is watching the stream. Let's share this around, because I am doing this just for frickin' Mr. Zorok the Great, Soul Salamander. Stuff has happened. Stuff's actually happening. Like, I was expecting to get like an update post or something. We're actually getting changes to the game. Like, now. Well, not now, but tomorrow, as in, like, tomorrow now. It's kind of blowing my mind a little bit. This came out of the blue. Like, I mean, I was expecting to get, like, an update thread on maybe, you know, when we're going to be getting the new cosmetic items. Whether we were going to hear about, like, the Zerbia challenge. All of the stuff from, like, the last thread. I thought we were sort of gonna, you know, get a bit of that recycled and just sort of hear about some new stuff. But we're actually getting entirely new stuff. And that entirely new stuff is coming out tomorrow at, oh, I can't quite remember. It rolls on Reboot, I think. Which is 6 a.m. like PST or something. So I'm gonna go to bed and then I'm gonna wake up to sort of the new changes that are in this changelog. And the changelog is called MineZ Books, Dungeons, and Towns, oh my. I think it's probably a good idea if I bring up MineZ map for this stream, because I feel like that is kind of going to help me to explain some stuff. I did give this like a little sort of proofread. But aside from that, like, I haven't looked too far into it, so, you know, I'm gonna be analyzing, like, the slight details on stream and kind of reacting to them. I have already sort of, like I said, given this a tiny bit of a read, and it kind of blew my mind. That's kind of why I'm streaming. Aside from the fact that, you know, I've been encouraged to do so. So let's get this underway, I guess. To start with, you know, we got books, dungeons, and towns, oh my. So what we're getting, you know, the books from the Origins update. They're actually getting code. We're getting, you know, dungeons, we're getting towns, and some other stuff. Alright. Hello, survivors. A little over 3 weeks ago, we released MineZ Origins. And am I speaking? Yeah, okay, my microphone is on. Good. So, this update gave our team a great foundation to rapidly improve upon the game and roll updates more routinely. In Origins, we introduced a wide variety of new rebuilds, layouts for dungeons, and the groundwork for new Legendaries. So we're probably going to get some more Legendaries. This is something that's actually been kind of talked about a lot. Most, if not all, of the Legendaries will be reworked in the future and sort of balanced and, you know, made more worth it. Because Dark has said that the main reason people do dungeons should be for the Legendaries. And they want to make Legendaries, you know, worth it. Because a lot of the Legendaries in games, such as like the zombie bow or like the shot bow and stuff like that, aren't really that worth it at the moment. So they want to make all Legendaries good. And I do think this is a good way to go about it, but at the same time, I kind of disagree with all dungeons being for the purpose of getting legendaries, because, sure, it does make, like, a good endgame goal, and you have to gear for the dungeons, and the whole idea of, like, the loot room giving you loot is to sort of replenish what you lost. I'm not necessarily sure that every dungeon should be that way. I think that instead of having the legendary be the main incentive for all dungeons, there should be some dungeons where you don't get a legendary, but they are sufficiently difficult enough to sort of reward you with gear or, you know, something that will actually help most people survive in MineZ. Because a lot of people do kind of, you know, want to play MineZ for the sake of, you know, gearing in dungeons and then getting that gear from dungeons to do even bigger, like, elite dungeons, and sort of making every single dungeon in the game be about the legendary kind of kills off that entire sort of play style of the dungeoneers who, you know, do that gear. And, like, I do understand, you know, they want you to gear out in the world not doing dungeons, but, you know, that's just kind of my thoughts on the whole situation. I'm thinking there should be some legendary dungeons and then, like, some gear dungeons. But, yeah, as I was saying, the groundwork for new legendaries, we're probably not just gonna get, you know, remade legendaries. Sorry for going off on that tangent, but the main focus here is you know, instead of legendaries being reworked, or, you know, for the time being, we can expect to see new legendaries. And that's actually kind of mentioned. This whole thread kind of talks about a bunch of new legendaries we're getting, starting with the legendary tomes. For those of you who don't actually know, the elite dungeons now drop sealing stones, or seals, and when you bring those to the spires, so for example, once you've done Frostbane, you go to Firespire. Once you've done Animus, you go to Windspire. You know, you take these seals to their spire, and you get these items called the tomes, or the seals of gods. And they are meant to be legendaries, which, you know, when you right-clicked, they did something, but they didn't do something on the release of Origins. Well, we're finally getting the code, and it actually tells us what these legendaries do. Throughout the main MineZ questline, you may acquire certain knowledge long since forgotten. These tomes did not have a use at the time of release, but we intended to give them a purpose. Before this point, most items you received during questlines were completely cosmetic and served no real functional purpose. So, stuff like, you know, the keys and the, just the Emerald Geode from Eclipsed Headquarters, they don't have a purpose yet, and they just kind of are used for keys. They, you know, they don't have any special function outside of that. However, these legendary tomes do. You can either use them as the key to progress in the storyline, or you can use them as their own sort of unique legendaries. So, as a description here, these tomes are the beginning of a new design concept where items can serve multiple purposes. You could use them in the story or in the environment. So you can either use them to progress further in dungeons, or you can use them, you know, out in PvP or out in dungeons, you know, just casual dungeons. Just use them for whatever, basically. These legendary tomes are very special and each have a unique effect when activated. They are currently a one-time use, which currently, you know, it makes me feel like when you use them, they're going to disappear. You're not going to be able to, you know, to use them for their effect and then also use them to progress in the storyline, but that's not confirmed, and that is something that I will confirm myself, because thankfully I got a spare tome from Frostbane just in case, you know, we had to test to see if they were like a one-time use, so we'll find out by tomorrow. Anyway, this has been done to allow us to create potentially powerful effects and offset the problem of durability when it comes to the books. Currently, the dungeons you need to beat to receive these are not updated to reflect their difficulty as an elite dungeon. It is possible that in the future, when these dungeons are changed, these legendaries will change as well. So they want to scale the power of the dungeons to sort of, you know, or they want to scale the legendaries to the power of the dungeons. So these legendaries we've actually got are, well, let's start with the Seal of Time, which I actually need to pull up the wiki page for this. Because it is on the wiki. So the Seal of Time is from Waterspire past. So you complete Polister Shrine and then go to Waterspire and you get the Seal of Time. By right-clicking this item, you will begin a countdown of 7.5 seconds. Your location will be marked when you click it, and after this small countdown, time itself will be turned back for you. You will find that you've been brought back to the moment you use the item, your health, hunger, and saturation being fully restored. Now, the thing I need to point out is that this doesn't revive you if you die. If you die, you lose your stuff. It only gives you back your health, your hunger, and your saturation. It does seem to teleport you back to, you know, the marker where you used the item. So, you know, when you die, it might end up teleporting you back to where you died, but you won't have your stuff. You'll have everything, you know, you'll have your health and your water and everything like that, but your stuff will be on your zombie if it hasn't already been taken. So you can't, like, use this to, like, splash your entire inventory and abuse this, but this can definitely be, you know, very useful in dungeons specifically. I was thinking maybe you can use this to, like, kite people. And what I was thinking is, you know, you could run one direction and then you can use the tome and teleport back. But I think it will kind of, I think it marks, you know, the location in which you use it, so it's visible to people with particles on. So they will be able to tell that you've used this item, I think. So, I mean, if you want to be sneaky with it, like, if you want to sort of, you know, try, use it and then, like, jump off the Hassa Plateau, like, jump into the waterfall, and, you know, get the group or that's chasing you to follow you and jump down the waterfall too, and then you get teleported back up to, you know, to the canyon. That's one way it can be used. Another way it can be used, I don't think this is going to be good for parkour. I'm just saying, because, you know, if you beat the parkour, then it teleports you back. So it's like, it punishes you for succeeding, but, like, it saves your life potentially if you fail. But then what's the point in that? Because if you know, if you succeed, then you're gonna get, like, it literally doesn't have a point in, like, parkour and stuff. So don't use it for parkour. Like, use it in dungeons when, you know, maybe there's a sacrifice, like the Frostbane room. You can, you know, use the Frostbane sacrifice, teleport, back out once you've pressed the button, and, you know, you've saved a life. So it's good for sacrifices. It's also good for, you know, if you really think you're going to, like, die. But I think the main use for this one is probably going to be, like, sacrifice. So, yeah. Seal of Space. This is the Earthspire one, so you have to beat DCS to get this one. By right-clicking this item, a circle of influence will appear around you. You control 2 points in space, and after a given countdown, you find that these points between space have been connected, and you, along with anyone in this circle, has been moved up to 20 blocks. Yeah, this one's kind of broken, guys. This one is kind of good. I think this is the best one, in my opinion. Are you scared of any parkour in the game? Are you absolutely terrified of doing, you know, are you worried about getting your group cleared through a horrible parkour room and you need as many people as possible to get to the other side? Bam! You just get everyone through the room just like that. It's literally, if you have this item, you can beat, like 80% of rooms in any dungeon in the game. How cool is that? Like, it's literally a get out of jail free card for your entire group. That's just completely busted. Like, I mean, if you have to beat DCS for this, then it's like understandable because it's such a damn good reward. But my god, is this gonna be so good in dungeons. Like, Jesus Christ, it's unreal how good this is. So, yeah, it's good for parkour. It's good for, you know, getting your team from, you know... You can skip floating islands with this. I just realized you can skip floating islands with this. My god. Like, honestly, this is just so good. Wait a minute. Hold on. Jacob. Are you watching the stream? Because I just realized something. Can you teleport your group into Axis Mundi using this thing? Because if you don't know, there's like a cave which you exit through now. And I think you can just walk in, but you can't get back out because you can't use your grapple, you can't use, like, you know, rabbit's feet. It's like a fall which you can't get back out of. Can you use the Seal of Space to teleport into that? Because that would be busted. That should be patched. Yeah, I got you, bro. I just saved people from getting into Axis for free. Jesus Christ. But dude, this legendary has so many applications, and I feel like it's just gonna cause so many trouble. Or it's just gonna cause so much trouble. I'm sorry, it's 3 AM. Just don't mind me if I say stupid stuff. But, dude, I'm so looking forward to seeing, like, the practical uses of this legendary, because it's like, there's just so much that can be done with this thing. Anyway, Seal of Entropy. This is the one from Firespire. So you beat Frostbane for this, and this is probably the easiest one to get. By right-clicking this item, a circle of influence will appear around you. You harness the unpredictable nature of the universe. You are its conduit, and those around you will be moved in an unpredictable and potentially debilitating ways. You do not want to get caught in this tome's area of effect. So, it looks like this one just kind of flings you around. I don't know if it, like, flings you up into the air or if it just makes you walk around and stuff. But it just kind of... It's another form of crowd control. It's, that's actually really cool. I'm just gonna say, like, even though the Seal of Space is you know, a really, like, nice one, this one is like, either this one or the Seal of Time have got to be my favorite. Because the only crowd control we have in the game at the moment, like AoE crowd control, is a flash grenade. Or a slowness potion or a weakness potion. This basically just debilitates an entire team. Admittedly, it's not very good in PvP if you're in a group fight, because, you know, your team will be affected by it as well. But, if you're being chased, like, if you legitimately, like, have a rivalry with 20 people and you are, like, the only one in your group, you can run away and, like, odds are, only, like, 5 of them are going to be able to sort of keep up with you. So that's actually really cool, because you know, I wasn't expecting to see any more crowd control. By the way, I'm gonna bring this up now while I remember, because I've just noticed Doc has just given us some release notes as well. So I'm just going to look over these while, you know, before I continue. Adjusted the spawn menu to show the spawn and block counts. Okay. Change bleeding and infection systems to not work off of a global timer. That's actually really cool. So it's like randomized now. It's not just, you know, you can track exactly when you're going to get the bleeding and infection ticks of damage and stuff. So that's nice. Fixed a memory leak caused by the scoreboard task. Okay, so lag fixes. Fixed a bug where reusing Revitalizer in the support kit would not refresh your absorption hearts. Okay, these seem to be bug fixes. No problem, Jacob. It's what I do, man. Rebuilt patchwork. Now this is interesting, and I'll get to that in a second. I'm gonna pull this aside, and I'm gonna just sort of keep it. Fixed Devil's Respite Plate Room, added barriers to the abandoned mineshaft instance exit. This was actually spawned from Nixie Bike's stream today because he went into abandoned mineshaft in his stream and discovered that. Edited floating islands exit pathway reverted. Yes, the mill swag. It's back. They brought it back. Yes. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, there's a special chest in the Zebia Depths loot room called the Mill Swag, which was the only location in the game where you could get Protection 1 armor, but they removed it. Looks like it's back. It looks like it's back. So they've brought that back. Wow, that's cool. Alright, anyway. Reverted Zerbia Depths loot room changes. We're getting the mill swag back. There's actually an incentive to do Zerbia again, guys. It's not a dead dungeon anymore. Anyway, disabled the following legendaries in the following dungeons. So they're anticipating this because they've got rid of the Seal of Space. Which is, the one which teleports you. Oh, shoot. They've actually disabled that in all Okay, that makes sense. So, you can't cheese. Okay, that doesn't make it nearly as good, but if that was usable in dungeons, that would be busted. I was out here overhyping this legendary to be like one of the best dungeon legendaries in the game, and then they just... I mean, I think it makes sense if you can, use it in dungeons to sort of skip a room or whatever. Because, like, you're beating DCS. I feel like it's a sufficient reward, right? But at the same time... It should definitely be banned in some dungeons. Like, in some dungeons, it just wouldn't, it wouldn't bode well. But I think it should be available in some. But I suppose, just nuking it for all dungeons makes it okay. Web Shot. So that must be the new legendary that's in the new dungeon, which, again, I'll get onto later. We don't know about this yet. But looking at the name, it's probably going to be... either something that just shoots webs, like a bow that shoots webs, or it's gonna be, it might actually be like a grapple, which is kind of like, an actual sort of a way grappling hooks work, so you can, like, latch onto, like, a ceiling and, like, swing like Tarzan with it. I don't know. That's just a guess. It's probably gonna shoot, it's probably gonna be a bow that shoots webs, let's be real. Remote... Okay, they nerfed Simoons for Zerbia Depths. That makes sense, because, like, you could cheese that dungeon, like, really easily. In some cases, I think people are even, like, skipping entire sections of the dungeon with that legendary. So, that makes sense. Anyway, I'm gonna drag that aside, because it does contain, beneficial information for later. For now, let's get back on to Seal of Gravity, the legendary from Anemos Sanctum, or, well... Windspire, you get the seal from Anemos Sanctum, and then bring it to Windspire, and that's how you get the dungeon. Tome, I mean. By right-clicking this item, you toss the book out like a flash grenade. After a short time, wherever it lands, it becomes the epicenter of a sudden change in gravity. You wield the force, which attracts players towards wherever you choose, and after a small countdown, anyone near that point is pulled inwards. This can be used to do incredible things, you just have to be creative. Again, I think this is another good dungeon legendary. If Seal of Space isn't allowed to, cheese a room, I reckon Seal of Gravity will be. Because, well, actually, I don't know, like, what the range is, but you can probably, like, pull your entire group, towards, a hard parkour jump. So you could probably skip, you could probably still skip parkour with this, but, oh, but I wonder how this could be used. I suppose it can just be used to sort of, stop people from chasing you. That's a good PvP legendary, but, oh, I don't know. I'll have to think on that one. Interesting. Anyway. That's enough for the legendaries. Let's talk about the dungeons now. In Origins, we introduced a new tier system to dungeons to allow for scalable loot to be placed in a variety of dungeons. While loot is not always static and can be updated throughout time, this tier system will remain. This update includes 3 dungeons, so, you know, the update that's rolling tomorrow, 2 tier 1 dungeons and a new tier 3 dungeon. Tier 1 dungeons are meant to be intro dungeons that a basic player with almost no gear could do. The rewards for this reflect the difficulty of these intro dungeons and their close proximity to spawn regions. These 2 dungeons can be found in Grimdale and Kami. So we know what this is for Grimdale. We know what this is already. It's Thieves Guild. It's not, you know, it's not Lost Thieves Guild, it's Thieves Guild. And, you know, it's not going to be like a legendary dungeon. It's probably just going to be like a chain, you know, a chain armor dungeon or like a leather armor dungeon. And it's going to be, you know, fairly easy. The Kami one, on the other hand, I am actually wondering if, I'm actually wondering what they will do for the Kami dungeon. I'm thinking, if you guys remember back to the old Kami, there were actually the sewers of Kami. Or like, you know, there was a sewer system where you kept the potions, or you found the potions, and then it got, like, kind of changed to a military chest. So I'm wondering, maybe they made the sewers the dungeon, and, like, you enter it through, like, this section or something. It could also be, maybe they might add, like, a ship here or something, and, you know, you go on that ship, and it's like an instance, and that instance sort of sails you out somewhere, and, you know, you do the dungeon, which would be cool, because that's, like, the first time we've seen a ship take you somewhere since, like, Christmas Town, basically. And I like that whole idea of, like, traveling somewhere that you don't sort of start out with. And, you know, I think boat riding is sort of a good way to do that. But the third dungeon, the new tier 3 dungeon, can be found in the swamp and boasts a completely new and exciting legendary. But be warned, what crawls in the swamp may leave you feeling nauseous. So we've got what crawls in the swamp. I just want to, you know, I want to start out of that. Crawls, like, what crawls? Like, what crawls? Babies? No. Freaking spiders, goddammit. That's why the legendary is a web shot. It's a spider dungeon. It's literally a spider dungeon. And that confirms that this new dungeon is not Exalusco. So this is a completely new dungeon, guys. We're getting 2 completely new dungeons and 1 dungeon that is a rebuild. So can we just put on the wiki page? It's called Baby Dungeon. Can we do that? Are we allowed to? No, we're not allowed to do that. Okay, thanks. Dude, Baby Dungeon, man. It's a spider dungeon. That's why we get the web shot. But they say it's a new and exciting legendary. So I am actually wondering what the web shot will do. I am excited to see. Baby Dungeon just spawns entirely baby zombies. Get out of here, moth. Shoot. I shouldn't have kept my window open until 3:30 a.m. in the morning. That's it for the dungeons. As for where I think that could be, when I was exploring, you know, when Origins first sort of, released, I found this little hole where the Eclipsed Watchtower was, in like, the ground. Or like in the swamp water, and it seemed like it was, you know, maybe a it seemed like maybe it was a dungeon, but it didn't seem like you know, it didn't seem like it was anything down there. But of course, if we go to Boggy Den, we know that Boggy Den, or is it Boggy Den? No, it's Swamp Pit. Swamp Pit is the entrance to the swamp underground. And right now, all we really have in the swamp underground is... I think it's over here. Yeah. All we have is we've got Manzara, which I think is this one over here. So we got Manzara here. And then over here, we've got Concord. These are the two new towns, and I've not heard great things. I've heard that they kind of suck. So... to give people another sort of incentive to go into these caves and, like, you know, find a new dungeon, that's gonna be nice. Whoopee cow, get on it. We need a new update for the map if that's the case. But yeah, it could either be there or it could be somewhere buried. Or they could have maybe, you know, put it in this creepy looking house, because this just screams a witch who has a spider as a pet. I don't know. Those are the places where the tier 3 could be, and you better believe I'm going to be scouting that out tomorrow. I will also be streaming the essay, because Simon's Avengers is having their 2nd year anniversary tomorrow, so I think I'll stream that. And I might also stream, you know, looking for the dungeon as well, so... that is if I'm, you know, half awake, because I'm going to be tired as hell. It's 3:30 AM. Like, when am I going to bed? When am I going to wake up? Christ. Anyway... for the towns, we have towns. So, if you thought Origins would bring the last of location reworks, you were mistaken. We are getting more towns. Cause, you know, having Concord, Circle, and all of the minor locations in Manzara, that wasn't enough towns, so we're getting even more. We've selected 2 locations which definitely deserved a rebuild and have re-envisioned them. They keep the general theme of their older versions, which have been brought to 2020. So I closed down the MineZ map. So we are getting 3 new, we're getting 3 new, sort of rebuilds. Or 2 new rebuilds and 1 new town, because Patchwork, the town north of Romero, has never existed. So it's getting retconned. Patchwork is gone. I believe something else has taken its place. So Patchwork is gone. You know, it's not Patchwork anymore. It's something else, which is weird because if I drag over this, rebuilt Patchwork. So, is it a rebuild? Is it a new location? I mean, we'll know when we get there, but I'm guessing that, you know, since it's coming from Mr. Halo himself, it's probably a new location. So they probably, you know, done the same thing as, you know, Dragon's Pass. They got rid of Tenebris and they replaced it with Dragon's Pass. So they've got rid of Patchwork and they probably, you know, replaced it with something else. So, we have also got 1 location is an emerging isolated gearing spot, and the other is a western town that has been neglected for some time. So, it's an emerging isolated gearing spot. So it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, and I'm kind of wondering where that is. So, I'm thinking... it says one of the towns is a western town that's been neglected for some time. No way! I just realized, frick! No way. Hold on a minute. So, oh shoot! Oh shoot! Oh frick! I didn't say the F word, I said frick. Okay, I think this means they either rebuilt the Lost Castle, or they rebuilt Youngton Abbey, or they rebuilt freaking Laserville. Oh my god. We've been asking for this. Literally, ever since Origins released, people have been saying, why hasn't Laserville been nuked? Why hasn't it been burnt to the ground? Oh my god. If they rebuilt Laserville, I'm literally, like, gonna flip my... Oh, dude. I'm not even gonna be unhappy if it's Youngton Abbey or, like, Lost Castle either, because my god. these are all the locations which were in desperate need of a change. Like, Laserville especially. But, oh, if they rebuild Laserville, I'm gonna be so happy. And then the other one is an isolated gearing spot. Or an emerging gearing spot. So it could be Biosford. They may have rebuilt Biosford. They may have rebuilt Barathrum Caverns. Because I know a lot of people have been sort of, you know, going to Barathrums recently, because apparently it does actually have some decent loot. And my god, I'm going to be so happy if they built that, or, you know, I'm going to be so happy if they've rebuilt that too. They didn't say it was west or eastern, so it makes me think it was mid-map. But it's an emerging gearing spot, so it's probably, you know, it's probably either Biosford, or it's probably either a cave town. Like, maybe it's, you know, maybe it's this, maybe it's real, maybe it's Septus. But I don't think it would be Septus, because that's not like an emerging gearing spot. It's always kind of been good. It could be Roseluck, because that's kind of isolated. And it could be Gravale, which, if you ask me, I think it would be a little weird if they rebuilt Gravale, because I think it's, yeah, well, it could do with a rebuild, but, like, I think it's fine. Like, I think there are, you know, places that need a rebuild much more desperately than, you know, than that place. Probably not in the jungle, so the contenders for that are, I'm thinking, probably, you know, either a Fire, or Gravale, Roseluck, Real, place which I forgot because Barathrum, or it could be Biosford. But my god, if they, well, this could be the western location as well. Dude, if they rebuild any of these locations, especially Laserville or Biosford, because those locations are so ugly, man. I'm gonna be so, like, oh my god, I'm gonna have such a fun time streaming tomorrow. I'm gonna be busy as hell. Like, you guys are not giving me a chance to make my theory video. I've been editing so much. And it's like, I felt bad for not uploading my video 3 weeks after, you know, well, 2 weeks after the dust settled for Origins. Because I've had this theory sort of in my mind and ready to present for a long time. It's just that it's taken me a long time to sort of record and edit it. Because it's like, as far as I remember, it's easily like a 15-minute video. So, and you know, I made that filler video, I made that Firespire video as like a teaser for it, because I kind of felt, you know, bad for not doing anything for so long. And Podcast Z, now that you've brought that up, oh god, I don't know what's happening with Podcast Z, because I don't think Plus is willing to do that anymore, to be honest. I'll ask him about it, though. I will see if the Podcast Z thing can come back. But I don't know. That might not be the direction this channel goes, because I do quite enjoy doing, like, solo commentary and, like, stream analyses, which, in my opinion, kind of, you know, sort of makes Podcast Z kind of redundant? Is that the word? But people enjoyed it, so I'll look into it. I will ask the band if we can sort of get back together. But, you know, I won't be doing that until... I won't be doing that until, you know, I've got all my other videos out the way. Anyway, so let's get back to the thread. In addition to the new rebuilds and stuff, we've included a handful of areas we are looking for build submissions for. Below are 5 areas for anyone to use and create something that could potentially make it onto the map. So, Saiyans is... oh, pardon me. Saiyans is potentially getting a rebuild. And I know that's going to upset some people, because for some reason, Saiyans, like, is just worshipped as, like, some holy place for some people. I don't know. A minor location in the Eastern Savannah biome, provided is a range for what we're looking for rather than the build. You do not need to conform to the current style of Saiyans. Provided is a range for what we're looking for. I wonder what that means. I don't know. I don't quite understand that. Possible for Savannah miner build. So they are filling up the savannah, which is good because this place is like the one place which needed anything more than any place on the map. Possible savannah miner build and possible savannah medium build. This is what I mean. We are getting more towns because places like Circle weren't enough. And honestly, I'm really glad that, we are getting more towns. Anyway, we might get a savannah build, and we might also get a desert savannah build, or like the mesa biome. This place. Because right now, we don't have a town here. We only have 3 dungeons, so it would be good to put maybe like a miner location or something in this whole area. Probably not here, because that's just a bit too close to DCS. But maybe either like up on this sort of plateau here. I can see this! Dude, I can see this being like some kind of... I have a cool idea for this. I might actually have like... I might try my hand at doing a build submission for this. Because I can kind of see like a fort... Well, actually, there's a way gate up here. But, like, on one of these plateaus, maybe if there's like just a fortification. Like, just... I don't know how to describe it, but kind of like a mini sort of, walled off sort of outpost. Because, like, optimal defense strat, like being on top of a mountain, like props to you. You've built like a really well guarded place. And you've got like a water source right now. You've got, you've got all the food you need down at Pyleus. Like, this is good place to bunk out if you're going to build a town here, man. I don't know why there is no town here, like, gosh. McLovinville's getting a rebuild, thank God. That's it for sort of the rebuilds. And in closing, we have, since the release of Origins, we've been hard at work fixing issues with the server and the map. Yes, it is 4 AM, or, well, it's 3:45. Zorok asked me to do this, and it's a thing now, so I really wanted to do this, because, like, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it, because I'm going to go back to, wasting my time tomorrow on, whatever, editing videos. Why do I have a fly on my face? But, yeah, I just enjoy doing it on the spot, so, and, yeah, I am excited. There's a freaking lot in this update, man. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, considering this is only 3 weeks after Origins, we're getting some big stuff. Anyway, yeah, so thank you for your patience as we sift through the issues that pop up from time to time. We actually did a group fight at Axis Mundi today. It was I think it's the first large-scale fight to ever take place inside of Axis Mundi in MineZ history. And it was like 6 groups going at it, and, it was really fun to watch. It was a blast hosting it, and I'm kind of really proud that, I could host, well, it was Rob Doom hosting it, but I was kind of proud that I could provide the keys for such a large community event. Anyway, we're getting kind of sidetracked here. Let's get back to this. I'd like to give credit to builder Ivan Doomy for the 2 town rebuilds. Oh, Ivan Doomy rebuilt it. There's no way it's gonna be Barathrum then, because he hates that place. Frosty, formerly known as Pinefrost and Tanatron, for the tier 3 dungeon. And one of the tier 1 dungeons. And Crispy Tortilla for the tier 1 dungeon at Kami. Pichu for help on Redstone in the dungeons, Doc for working hard to bring us these new legendaries while sifting through server issues, Jacob, shout out to Jacob, my man, for helping QA these dungeons and providing ideas, and Marine PvP for working to balance the loot along the way. There are many exciting things planned for the summer, and we are looking forward to releasing more content to you as we progress through the summer. As always, thank you for flying Shotboat, and remember, there is no dungeon beneath the dock. My god. There's actually, like, this is a big update. Like, I wasn't expecting to get this much. Like, dude, isn't MineZ Endgame meant to be coming in June? How do you find the time for this stuff? Gosh. Good. Wow. Like, I'm amazed. This is the turning point for Shopper. Like, my god, they are really sort of, like, you know, you know, the fact that they made Origins in the space of 10 months, and, you know, we're starting to see what the current build team and the new, like, the current MineZ team are capable of. Like, this is honestly, like, I think that I'm a witness to this. I think that over time, people's faith in, you know, the MineZ team is actually getting restored. Like, I'm seeing it happen already. I think people are already sort of, you know, regaining hope in the MineZ staff team, and that's honestly awesome, because this is like, if that's the case, well, like, you know, both the community and the staff can sort of work hand in hand. And admittedly, like, you know, this is the MineZ community. There's always going to be toxic people. But, like, if we can get to the stage where, like, not only are the, you know, the MineZ staff team and the builders, like, really efficient at getting stuff done, but, you know, the community is willing to sort of give feedback and cooperate and not boycott stuff, like, this is the beginning of the MineZ Renaissance, guys. I'm calling it here. This is where it begins. It begins with Origins. By the way, get me on the QA team, guys. I would. My god, dude. Honestly, it must be so fun to, like, QA these dungeons. Oh, I'm honestly, like, so happy to be part of this. I'm so proud of this community. So, to sum it up, guys, let's just run through it, because I did make a summary in my, you know, my Origins Discord. By the way, I completely skipped past this because I think my mind just didn't process it at the time. Increased aloe vera fire resistance duration to 30 seconds. That's big. That's actually really good. I like that. That is cool. I really like that. And it's actually, like, going to make fire resistance viable now, because I feel like 5 seconds just wasn't cutting it enough, but, like, 30 seconds, that's good. That is good. Anyway, let's sum it up. So we've got the 4 seals. The 4 seals now work. So that's the, you know, the tomes, the Seal of Time, Seal of Space, Seal of Entropy, and Seal of Gravity. Thieves Guild is now back as a tier 1. Kami has a tier 1 dungeon, which is probably either going to be like a boat trip, like Nephrasia, the Christmas town, or it's going to be, you know, in the sewers or something. Tier 3 dungeon, which is probably either going to be in the cave system, in the swamp, or it's going to be just where Eclipse Swamp Watchtower used to be, somewhere in there. 2 rebuilds. One of them is in the west, and that could either be Byersford, Laserville, Yongton, or Lost Castle. And then another one is an isolated emerging gearing spot, which could be Barathrum Caverns, Real, Greyvale, Roseluck, or a fire. So, and also Patchwork. Patchwork is getting replaced. We don't know if it's getting a rebuild, or if it's just getting nuked and made into a new location like Dragon's Pass, but Patchwork is going to be rebuilt. Or at least something is going to be there other than Patchwork by tomorrow. That's it. That's the changelog, guys. So, I'm really excited for this update. And also, yeah, we're getting the web shot, which is probably going to be like a bow that shoots webs. Oh, this is a good update, and I am so looking forward to what's to come. I just, like, my 4 a.m. brain can't comprehend this, man. I'm happy. I'm happy. Before I just keep rambling on about random stuff and just repeating the same sentences over and over again in my tired stupor, I'm gonna end the stream. So, if you guys enjoy, you know, make sure to subscribe, because not only I don't just do lore videos, I also do gameplay analysis whenever these come out, or, you know, sometimes when these things comes out. And I also do live streams of new content in MineZ. That's sort of like the main focus on my channel. So if you guys are into that just kind of stuff, like exploring or whatever, you know, let me know. And also subscribe. I'm actually at 99 subscribers, so that extra one will do the 100 sub special. Oh shoot! I actually hit 100. Frick! No way! We actually did it live on stream, boys. Hell yeah! Oh my god, I wasn't expecting that. Dude! Dude, we've done it. We've actually done it. We've hit 100. Dog was 100th? No way! Dog, you're a legend! Oh my god, I need to do 100 special now. Guys, message me on Discord. I'll put my well, you probably all know what my Discord chat is, right? I'll put my Discord in. Well, actually, no, my Discord link is in the description. You can join it if, you know, you want to suggest stuff. Dog can say that he was here when I was only 100 subs. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do 100 special. If you wanna, you know, give me suggestions for that 100 special, let me know. Just message me on Discord. Just, you know, put it in my discussion tab on the channel. I was thinking of doing a Q&A, actually, but I don't know how much traction that would get, so I don't know. Maybe I'll leave the Q&A to a bigger milestone. I don't know. Leave suggestions, and I promise you I'll consider everyone. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap up the stream. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll be doing a live stream, definitely. What that live stream is, it will either be the essay live stream, like the 2-year anniversary live stream, or it'll be like an exploration live stream. We'll see. It might be both. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you coming out here, you know, this late into the evening. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching, guys. I will see you guys next time.